It is indeed a matter of immense joy and great privilege. I request all the students to maintain silence. Discipline team. It is indeed a matter of immense joy and great pleasure for me, Dr. Parul Arora, on behalf of the entire BVICAM family, to extend a warm and gracious welcome to all dignitaries, distinguished invitees, respected delegates, and honored guests gathered here today for the inaugural program of 20th INDIACom 2026, the 13th International Conference on Computing for Sustainable Global Development. INDIACom 2026 has established itself as a significant platform of collaboration, bringing together eminent minds from academia, research, and industry to deliberate upon ever-expanding horizon of computing for sustainable global development. With an unwavering commitment to contemporary technological advancement and meaningful academic contribution, BVICAM feels privileged to host this prestigious conference series year after year. Our purpose remains resolute: to enrich shared understanding and encourage path-breaking ideas through the valuable perspectives offered by distinguished dignitaries and accomplished scholars who possess exceptional expertise in their respective domains. As we commence this inspiring journey of knowledge and innovation, let us recall the timeless words of John Dewey. If we teach today as we taught yesterday, we rob our children of tomorrow. Let this thought inspire us to adopt fresh ideas, rethink established boundaries, and work towards meaningful and transformative advancement. In the words of Henry Ford, coming together is a beginning, staying together is progress, and working together is success. Our central endeavor is to discover new dimensions of computing that can meaningfully contribute to global development. Since its inception in 2007, INDIACom has served as a platform for all social thinkers too. Together, we seek to identify emerging directions, explore innovative possibilities, and shape the roadmap of future. This year's conference will span 3 days, from 8th to 10th April 2026, featuring paper presentations and invited talks. The concluding day, 10th April, will mark the inauguration of BVICAM Annual Fest National Students Convention, which will feature a diverse range of technical, cultural, and media-related inter-college activities. Wishing all the participants success in their endeavors and insightful deliberations, I wholeheartedly welcome you all again to INDIACom 2026, the 20th edition of this annual series and 13th International Conference on Computing for Sustainable Development. I hereby request Professor M.N. Huda, Director BVICAM New Delhi, General Chair, INDIACom 2026 and Chair IEEE Delhi Section, to welcome Honorable President of today's function, President South Asian University, former Chairman National Board of Accreditation NBA New Delhi, and Founder Vice Chancellor Professor K.K. Agarwal. A huge round of applause. I again request, sir, to welcome Honorable Chief Guest, Mr. Alok Vadhera, Vice President, Engineering, Capgemini Engineering. We welcome you, sir. I again request, sir, to welcome the Honorable Chief Guest, Ms. Shivani Yadav, MD and Global Business Unit Head, Nagaro. We welcome you, ma'am. I again request, sir, to welcome Shri Shiv Kumar, former scientist, National Informatics Center, Government of Delhi. I now request Professor Sunil Pratap Singh, Professor BVICAM and Publication Chair, INDIACom 2026, and Professor Ritika Vasan, Deputy Director, BVICAM, to welcome Professor Sneha Kabra, Professor, University of Delhi and Secretary. A huge round of applause. The following honored guests, many of whom were to come for this inaugural function in person, could not come because of various reasons, have joined the inaugural function online. Professor Subrato Mukhopadhyay, Chairperson, Consultants, Network Affinity Group and former Chairperson, IEEE Delhi Section. A huge applaud for Sir, he's online. Professor A.K. Nayak, former President, Computer Society of India. Professor Mohammad Yamin, the Australian National University, Canberra, Australia. Professor Tom Giddon, Optus Chair in Artificial Intelligence at Curtin University, Perth, Australia. A huge round of applause. We all have all these guests online. Professor Abdul M. Basail, King Abdulaziz University, Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. Professor Girija Shetty, Department of Information Technology and Systems, University of Canberra, Australia. Dr. Faisal Usman Al-Buraidi, Qasim University, Saudi Arabia. Professor George Halkiais, Department of Mathematics and Computer Science, University of Athens, Greece. Dr. Yasir Adiz, Greenwich University, London. Professor Ata Atun, Green American University, Turkish Republic of North Cyprus, Turkey. Dr. George Ceramisis, University of Wollongong, Dubai, UAE. Mr. Dr. Mishal Mofle Al-Mutari, Buraida College of Technology, Saudi Arabia. Dr. Awad Al-Harbi, Buraida College of Technology, Saudi Arabia. And Professor Fahad Muhammad Al-Badaidi, Qasim University, Qasim. A huge applaud for all our guests for joining us online. And now BVICAM feels privileged to invite Shri Shiv Kumar, former scientist, National Informatics Center, Government of Delhi, New Delhi. His contribution to the domain of technology-enabled governance and national informatics has been deeply meaningful. I now request Sir to kindly address the gathering.
Thank you, Parul. Dignitaries on the dais, presiding officer of this function, Professor Dr. K.K. Agrawal, chief guest, Professor M.N. Huda, Madam Yadav, and other professors and doctors of Bharati Vidyapeeth, and the dignitaries on the off the dais, Mr. Daman Saab, and last but not least, all my younger students. You are not only the students, but also the young IT professionals. So I am a lucky person who has attended continuously these from the last 20 years this INDIACom conference and this international conference also later on. And in the month of Feb, you have witnessed there is a artificial intelligence conference in Bharat Mandapam. So this conference and all these dignitaries are here to provide you the direction in the field of IT. So now, today is the age of AI. Today is the era of AI. So once we talk about anything, whether it is AI, drone technology, nanotechnology, etc., then you would have heard few buzzwords like the India will become superpower, India will become Vishwaguru, and India will become Viksit Bharat in 2047. And we always compare ourselves with China and America, US. On one side, if we analyze or examine ourselves in comparison of China and US, then we are nowhere in terms of technology, in terms of design and development of new research, etc. So, to become the world leader, superpower, I think these are the buzzwords which are very good. But to become the Viksit Bharat may be the realistic word. And how we can become the Viksit Bharat? To utilize the maximum use of AI tools which are already developed. You see, these days there is a war between Israel, America versus Iran, and Russia versus Ukraine. They are doing war, but our country of 145 crores is affected because we are dependent for energy to the other world countries. Likewise, we are dependent for technology for Western countries. These Google, WhatsApp, all other servers are putting there in the Western countries. So, what is the shortcut? Shortcut is we should already develop AI tools for the application in our social sector, like agriculture, education, health, etc., etc. And because you are the youngster, so you can easily or early adopt this technology for day-to-day use. So with the adoption of this technology, we will definitely become the developed countries not by 2047 but before that. Because here Professor Huda Sahab has called me, so I will finish my lecture with one full line, one sentence कि जिस ओर जवानी चलती है उस ओर जमाना चलता है. This is the AI way. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your thoughtful and inspiring words. It's now my privilege to invite Professor Sneha Kabra, University of Delhi and Secretary IEEE Delhi Section, a distinguished academic and an active contributor to professional and technical advancement, and she has continuously encouraged meaningful academic engagement and institutional collaboration. I now request Professor Sneha Kabra to kindly address the audience.
Thank you, Dr. Parul. A very good afternoon to the distinguished guests on the stage, Professor K.K. Agarwal, Professor M.M. Huda, the organizers of the conference, the distinguished dignitaries present on the dais, off the dais, those who are connected online, a very good morning, good evening to all of you in whichever time zones you are. And dear participants, first of all, I would like to congratulate the organizers of this conference, the 20th edition of INDIACom. INDIACom is a testament to what commitment, passion, and perseverance can lead to. I remember seeing this institute, Bharati Vidyapeeth, coming up close to 30 years ago, an institute which started just 30 years ago, organizing a serial conference annually since last 20 years is a grand achievement. And I'm sure that this is possible only because of the joint collective efforts of the visionary leaders, including Agarwal sir, Huda sir, Shivkumar sir, and A.K. Seni sir, whose dream has been nurtured
so perfectly, so beautifully, and it is growing up so well that it has completed 20 years. So I congratulate each one of you for choosing this platform to showcase your research work. And I'm truly overwhelmed to see that this conference this time has received, every year it receives good number of papers, good number of quality papers, but this time I think it has surpassed all previous records. It has received close to 2,800 papers from about 26 different countries. And the acceptance ratio that is worth appreciation, it's just 20%, which speaks volumes about the quality of work which has been presented in this conference. And this is what IEEE actually stands for, because this conference has been associated with IEEE and the publications will be available on IEEE Explore. So the conference standard is really too good, and I congratulate you for choosing this platform to present your work. I have just chaired one of the sessions of the conference, and last year also I chaired one of the sessions of the conference, and I really get impressed by the kind of work which has been presented in this conference year after year from across different universities within India, outside India. It's really marvelous to see. And the theme of the conference is also very beautifully chosen. It says that it's computing for sustainable global development. So sustainability is something which everyone is talking about these days. But INDIACom itself is a testament, itself is the biggest example that how you start something and you carry it forward year on year, trying to improve, trying to make it better. It's really marvelous to see INDIACom 2026 edition. And as I'm the secretary of IEEE, and I'm sure that we have many members from IEEE here. So I wish that you keep on participating in such conferences which are being organized under IEEE banner. The standard of the conferences is always class apart, which are being organized under IEEE. So once again, I wish this conference a grand success in all the editions going to come in the years. All the best to all of you who have joined today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your valuable guidance and encouragement. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my distinct honor to invite Professor M.N. Huda, Director, BVICAM, New Delhi, General Chair, INDIACom 2026, and Chairperson, IEEE Delhi Section, to deliver the welcome address.
Good afternoon to each one of you who are here, and all the experts, delegates, session chairpersons who have joined from within the country. And my good morning and good evening to everyone who are joining this inaugural function from different parts of the world depending upon their time zone. Would like to start with this, that पहले इंडियाकॉम का वेलकम मैंने इस शेर के साथ किया था कि अंजाम उसके हाथ है आगाज़ करके देखते हैं, अंजाम उसके हाथ है आगाज़ करके देखते हैं, भीगे परों से ही प्रवास करके देखते हैं। वो प्रवास आज 28th एडिशन के सेलिब्रेशन में यहाँ पहुँची है। तो आज मैं यहाँ से शुरुआत करूँगा कि ये 20 सालों की जो काउंटलेस लोगों की मेहनत, एफर्ट्स एंड द फेथ which they have extended in the platform of INDIACom at Bharati Vidyapeeth, maybe on my request, on the request of my team members, उनके लिए ये दो पंक्तियाँ हैं कि ए वादिये हसीन मेरे दिल की धड़कनें, ए वादिये हसीन मेरे दिल की धड़कनें, आदाब कह रही हैं तेरी बारगाह में। Honorable Professor K.K. Agarwal sir, the present president of South Asian University, the founder vice chancellor of Guru Gobind Singh Indraprasth University, and noted academician of this country and abroad, in whose cabin as the vice chancellor of IP University we conceived this idea of organizing a conference where papers having application orientation shall be given preference in the year 2006. From there we are continuing, sir. Today on this inaugural function I have very, very eminent two chief guests with me. Mr. Alok Vadehra, the Vice President Engineering, Cape Gemini, and Ms. Shivani Yadav, the Managing Director and Global Business Head, Nagaro, who is gracing the occasion and will be sharing their experiences with all of us, that how the application of computing is shaping the entire society and how the industry is taking it forward for the purpose, probably the single purpose is how to advance technology for the humanity. That is what is the USP of IEEE as well, under which this conference since day one is being conducted, advancing technology for humanity. So they will be sharing their expertise, and if I do not name all the international track in charges, the guests who are the strong pillar to me since almost 2013 for the purpose of making this conference visible and participative in various countries of Europe, America and entire Middle East. Many of the people were supposed to come, but we know what is happening in the world and they cannot travel, so all of them have joined despite having different time zones. Somewhere it is midnight, somewhere it is early morning, somewhere people are about to sleep around 10 p.m., 11 p.m., etc. So let me take especially all of them and pay my gratitude to all of them. Professor Muhammad Yamin from Australian National University, Canberra, Australia. I have amongst the online experts Professor Tom Gideon, Optus Chair Artificial Intelligence, Curtin University, Australia. I have Professor George Halkikias, University of Athens, Greece. All of them at one or other time have been in one or other conference of INDIACom platform right in this auditorium. I have Professor Girja Shetty from University of Canberra, Australia. I have Professor Ata Atun, who had a very, very important meeting today. Despite that, he agreed to grace this occasion from Girne American University, Turkish Republic of North Cyprus, Turkey. Professor Fahad Muhammad, Qasim University, Qasim, Saudi Arabia. Dr. Yasir Aids, multiple times he have been in this auditorium, from Greenwich University, London. Professor George from University of Wollongong, Dubai, United Arab Emirates. Dr. Faisal from Qasim University, Saudi Arabia. Dr. Mishal Mufleh from Buraida College of Technology, Saudi Arabia. Dr. Awad Al-Harbi, Buraida College of Technology, Saudi Arabia. Professor Abdullah Bashahel from King Abdulaziz University, Saudi Arabia. And from our own very, very dear members, Professor Subrata Mukhopadhyay, the former chairperson of IEEE Delhi section. My friend Professor A.K. Saini is making nitty-gritty ready for convocation of the IP University, which is happening tomorrow, will be joining soon. He's one of the founder members. Me, Professor Saini, Professor Vyas, he has also joined online. Today he is in America, and Mr. Shiv Kumar. We four people together established this conference in the year 2006. Mr. Shiv Kumar is here, and of course the very, very vibrant secretary of IEEE Delhi section, Professor Sneha Kabra. So my greetings and my gratitude to all of you for having your valuable time and being with all of us, and year after year helped me, facilitated me to nurture this conference and go to the next level. Dear friends, my philosophy always has been that never follow the benchmark made by others, that those benchmarks are to inspire all of us, but follow and make our own benchmark and beat the unbeaten benchmark and travel the untraveled path with which we are moving forward. And iske liye whatever is required to be done, that with the help of the team members, with the help of the external experts, we are continuously doing. The theme of the conference, which was decided in the year 2006 in Agarwal sir's cabin while being the sitting vice chancellor of the university, that sustainability is still as relevant as it was in 2006, and that makes this conference much more sustainable conference of not only the country but even the outside the country. Friends, even in today's time, we are aware of the fact that close to 800 million people alone in India are living in villages, and close to 3 billion people globally are living in villages. And when in March 2020, because of the COVID-19 lockdown was announced, we have seen that what was the condition on the roads, what was the condition of the healthcare, what was the condition related to education, and what was the condition on other economic and other fronts. So that clearly shows that still the application of technology has to go to such places where we need to bring the technology, and then only we can fulfill the dream that advancing technology for the purpose of humanity. This particular conference, which is primarily focusing on application related papers, is primarily for the purpose that with the help of the technology, can we bring development to the kind of the people, to the kind of the area which is undeveloped? Can we bring technology as closer as possible and reach to the unreached set of people, connect to the unconnected people, include to the under-included section of the society, and then undertake efforts to serve to the underserved people? That is the purpose of the conference. That is the purpose of the theme. So I request all the authors who from different parts of the country and abroad have joined the message before all of us, that we have to go a long way with the help of our researches and bring technology for the benefit, for the welfare, or for improvising the quality of life of the people on this planet Earth, so that the benefit of the technology can reach to those people, and then we can realize that developed India. January last week, we also had a Viksit Bharat at the rate 2047 conference. This is possible only when our researches should be translational into the nature. We should be focused, committed and passionate about it. पैशन के बारे में बहुत सारी बातें बहुत सारी जगह मिलेंगी. बशीर बद्र की एक बड़ी गज़ल की 4 पंक्तियां हैं जो मैं पैशन के लिए हमेशा कोट करता हूं कि आंखों में रहा दिल में उतर कर नहीं देखा, आंखों में रहा दिल में उतर कर नहीं देखा, कश्ती के मुसाफिर ने समंदर नहीं देखा, जब से चला हूं मंजिल पे नजर है मेरी, राह में कभी मुड़कर मील का पत्थर नहीं देखा. इस फिलॉसफी के साथ हम आगे बढ़ रहे. You'll be happy to note that Dr. Parul has already briefed the statistics of the conference. This year we received more than 2,800 papers. Imagine reviewing 2,800 papers and selecting 550 papers is not an easy task. Those people who keep on organizing conferences will only tell you that how much efforts are required and how many nights of the team members are burnt only because of reviewing the papers, and that too in multiple cycles, 3, 4, 5 cycles. Because once you reject a paper, the author comes up with some representation, and as usual, always be given opportunity. Okay, you want to revise and resubmit it. So out of 2,800 paper, we have accepted close to 550 paper, and 37 out of those 550, 37 chosen paper have also been published in the hard copy, pre-conference hard copy of the proceeding, which shall be released here. And all the papers, all the presented papers during the 3 days under various tracks shall be submitted to IEEE Explore for publication and indexing. And in this entire journey, the team members, I consider myself very, very fortunate in whichever way we wanted to do, whatever target we wanted to set, whatever deadline we set, we are in a position to meet that. That is possible only because of the team. And this year we were discussing, sir, that till last year it used to happen that some or other work remains pending till the last day. But this year, almost our majority of the routine works were over, even the communication, the setting of the papers, proceedings, everything, around 15 days in advance. and my team members who are reminding me, okay, sir, year after year we have optimized the processes. Now with lesser effort, we are in a position to generate more results. That is the beauty of this. And while going through the papers, imagine we talk of bringing women in leadership role, bringing women in a kind of decision-making situation. The papers which we have accepted, 550 paper, close to 300 papers are authored by women. That's the kind of the power which is coming. So thank you so much. Would not like to speak too much because my guests from various parts of the world are joining. Somewhere they have just got up, somewhere they are about to sleep. So would like to give them at least some time to interact with all of us. And all of them have been a great pillar to make this conference visible all across the world. As has already been mentioned, that experts, authors from 26 countries, whether they are authors or they are speakers or they are session chairs or they are invited keynote speakers, but they have joined from 26 countries. That is the beauty of this conference, reaching it. The second important notable feature which this conference has started, that not only at Bharati Vidyapeeth the tracks are happening, the tracks are happening outside Bharati Vidyapeeth, within India and outside India. The track is happening at Saudi Arabia, track is happening at Australia, track is happening at Pune, track is happening at Hyderabad. That's the kind of the beauty that this conference has become distributed in nature. And I look forward that at least 50 tracks at 50 different cities and places, because it has become very, very difficult that everyone will be traveling at one particular place for the purpose of presentation of paper. So instead of just online presentation, if people can travel to one city, the nearest city in their own town, and then get network there and present their paper, that possibly is another milestone work which we are doing. And around 6 such sessions are happening outside Bharati Vidyapeeth and outside Delhi. So thank you so much. I would like to extend my special thanks to all the members of my team, teaching, non-teaching, and very, very special notable contributions from Dr. Sunil, Dr. Ritika, Professor Parul. All of them are such members of my team कि इन्हें कहें कि 2 रात सोना नहीं है और ये काम इसी डेडलाइन पे खत्म होना है. They will do that, and rest all the members of the team. That to that respect, I consider myself fortunate, and probably the kind of the work which I have done for initial 15 editions of INDIACom myself, I do not need to put in that much effort now to the INDIACom. Dr. Sunil, Dr. Ritika, Parul, all of them has taken all these works, and the process is there and the people are implementing that. Imagine a conference which I started in the year 2006 is now celebrating its 20th year, year after year, with much more value additions and of course much more rigor being put behind the organization of this conference. 2009, again under the guidance and the mentorship of Professor Agarwal sir, we started a journal, International Journal of Information Technology. And that journal since 2017 is being published by Springer Nature from Singapore, the only journal of the country. The only journal of the country which is published, which has been started by a college, is published by a publisher, world best possible publisher, Springer Nature from Singapore, is indexed by Scopus at Q1 level. Scopus has ranked us at 96 percentile, means top 4% is the rating of our journal, Q1 Scopus Index journal. SciMago has ranked us at 72, means top 28% of the journals, 72 Q2 percentile SciMago, and Springer itself has ranked our journal in entire umbrella of close to 3,000 journal as top 1% journal, top 1% performing journal. And now our site score in Scopus of that journal is 9.6, which we started in beginning in 2017 with 0.01. All these are results of my team members, of course, and for which I consider that this is the work which team from a small institute can do and create an example. That's why I say beat the unbeaten benchmark and travel the untraveled path. With this note कि हम फिर मिलेंगे अपनी मेहनत से, अपनी कोशिश से और अपने पैशन से नया बेंचमार्क हर साल बनाएंगे. थैंक यू सो मच. विद दिस नोट कि जब हम नहीं होंगे तो लोग हम कितनी अच्छी बातें करते थे किस ब्रांड का चश्मा पहनते थे, किस ब्रांड का कपड़ा पहनते थे, इससे याद नहीं करेंगे। लोग हमें याद करेंगे कि हमने अपने पीछे कोई फुट स्टेप छोड़ा है क्या, वो फुट स्टेप लोगों को इंस्पायर कर रहा है क्या, प्रेरित कर रहा है क्या। इफ पीपल आर बीइंग इंस्पायर्ड आउट ऑफ दैट फुट स्टेप, दैट प्रोबेबली विल बी आवर अचीवमेंट एंड द कंट्रीब्यूशन टू द सोसाइटी। एंड दैट्स व्हाई 4 पंक्तियां मैंने लिखी थी कि कल न हम होंगे न कोई गिला होगा, कल न हम होंगे न कोई गिला होगा, बस सिमटी हुई खट्टी मीठी यादों का एक सिलसिला होगा। कल न हम होंगे न कोई गिला होगा, बस सिमटी हुई खट्टी मीठी यादों का एक सिलसिला होगा। जो भी वक्त मिला है आओ अच्छा कुछ कर गुजरें, जाने कल तकदीर का क्या फैसला होगा। थैंक यू सो मच, विश यू ऑल द बेस्ट एंड थैंक्स यू टू ऑल माय एक्सपर्ट्स फ्रॉम ऑल पार्ट्स ऑफ द वर्ल्ड एंड ऑथर्स who joined this inaugural function and made it memorable. Thank you so much.
A huge applaud for Sir's inspiring welcome speech and words of wisdom. We are pleased to welcome Professor Ata Atun, Green American University, Turkish Republic of North Cyprus, Istanbul. Good evening, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible. Thank you very much.
Sir,
Dear Honorable Chairpersons of the conference, Professor Aggarwal, Conference General Chair Professor Yamin, Director Professor Hoda, distinguished representatives, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon to all of you. I would like to thank my dear friends and colleagues, Conference General Chair Professor Yamin and Professor Hoda, for inviting me to this very significant conference. I am pleased to be with you for the 4th time at this 20th INDIACom 2026 13th International Conference on Computing for Sustainable Global Development. Based on my years of academic and on-site experience, I would like to touch on sustainability and the relationship between information technology and sustainability. Distinguished guests, respected colleagues, innovators, and dear participants, it is both an honor and privilege to stand before you today as we gather at the intersection of technology and humanity's most pressing challenges. We are living in an era defined by unprecedented technological advancement. Computing, once a specialized domain, has become the invisible engine powering nearly every aspect of modern life, from the way we communicate and learn to how we manage resources, diagnose diseases, and understand our planet. Computing is no longer just a tool, it's a transformative force. Yet alongside this progress, we face profound global challenges: climate change, resource depletion, inequality, food insecurity, and public health crisis remind us that innovation alone is not enough. The question is no longer what computing can do, but rather what computing should do. This is where the concept of sustainable global development becomes crucial. Sustainability is not simply about preserving the environment, it is about creating systems that are resilient, inclusive, and equitable for present and future generations. It demands that we think how we design technologies, how we deploy them, and who benefits from them. Computing has a unique role to play in this transformation. Through data analytics and artificial intelligence, we can better understand environmental patterns and predict natural disasters. With cloud computing and distributed systems, we can optimize energy consumption and reduce waste. Through digital platforms, we can expand access to education, healthcare, in financial services, especially in underserved communities. But we must also acknowledge a critical truth. Technology is not inherently sustainable. Data centers consume vast amounts of energy. Electronic waste is growing at an alarming rate. Algorithms can unintentionally reinforce bias and inequality. If we are not careful, the very tools designed to solve global problems may contribute to them. That is why this conference matters. Over the next few days, we will explore how computing can be aligned with its principles and sustainability. We will hear from researchers who are developing energy-efficient algorithms, from engineers building smart cities, from policymakers shaping ethical frameworks, and from entrepreneurs creating solutions that scale across borders. This gathering is more than a sharing of knowledge. It is call to action. We must move beyond isolated innovations and work towards integrated solutions. Collaborations across disciplines, industries, and nations is essential. Sustainability is not a problem that can be solved by computer scientists alone, nor by policymakers, nor by business in isolation. It requires a collective effort, one that brings together diverse perspectives and expertise. We must also prioritize inclusivity. The benefits of computing must reach all corners of the world, not just those with access to advanced infrastructure. Bridging the digital divide is not only a moral imperative, it is essential for achieving truly global development. Education plays a pivotal role here. By equipping the next generation is both technical skills and ethical awareness. We can ensure that future innovations are guided by responsibility as much as by ambition. As we look ahead, let us embrace a mindset of proposal innovation. Let us not only how fast we can advance, but how wisely we can do so. Let us design systems that are not only efficient, but also fair. Let us measure success not only in terms of performance and profit, but also in terms of impact and sustainability. Each of us in this room has a role to play. Whether you are a researcher pushing the boundaries of knowledge, a developer building practical solutions, a policymaker shaping regulations, or a student just beginning your journey, you are part of a global community with the power to drive meaningful change. Let this conference be a space for inspiration, dialogue, and collaboration. Let's challenge our assumptions, expand our perspectives, and strengthen our commitment to using computing as a force for good. In closing, I would like to leave you with a simple thought. The future is not something we inherit. It is something we create. And through the responsible and innovative use of computing, we have the opportunity to create a future that is not only smarter, but also more sustainable, more equitable, and more human. Thank you for being here, and I wish you a productive and inspiring conference. I again thank my dear friend and colleague, Conference General Chair Prof. Yamin, for inviting me to this great conference. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for such an enriching and enlightening keynote. Thank you, sir. We are honored to welcome a distinguished researcher and academician, Professor Girija Shetty, from Department of Information Technology and Systems, University of Canberra, Australia. May I request ma'am to kindly deliver her invited talk. Over to you, ma'am. Ma'am, you are not audible.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, absolutely. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you very much. Hi everyone, good day from Australia. I hope you're all doing well. So I think it's indeed a great honor for me to be talking with you today on this very exciting occasion of the inauguration of the 20th edition of INDIACom 2026. I'm delighted to have the opportunity to address such a talented, august audience comprising of international eminent dignitaries, researchers, and students. I'm thankful to the conference executive team and the organizers for providing me this great opportunity for speaking at this inaugural session. Particularly, I'm very thankful to conference chairs Professor Hoda and Professor Yamin. I have been associated with this conference for quite a while, and I enjoy every time participating in this particular session. So just let me remind you that this is indeed a great day, and I congratulate the INDIACom conference executive and organizing team and all the participants for a sustained contributions to the scientific community through this fantastic set of papers, which is very large and a large conference, and for organizing such an outstanding conference successfully year after year for last 20 years. It's indeed a fantastic feat, or it's a very challenging, of course. And one of the things I noticed is the conference actually rightfully focuses on some of the key issues that affects each and every one of us by running very interesting tracks. In fact, this year the tracks that are being run is on sustainable computing, high performance computing, high speed networking, and information security, software engineering, and emerging technologies. All of them are really, they need attention by the international scientific community at this time. So I'm really pleased to see such an interesting set of tracks that's being run. And I would be looking forward to participate and listen to each and every presentation in the conference as much as possible and go through the proceedings. And I'm sure I'll be truly enriched with the knowledge and skills and can equip myself to future-proof myself with new and emerging trends and technologies that will help in facing the challenges, particularly in the hype and misinformation being spread these days due to AI. What it can do, what it can't do, and how, everybody is scared that it will take over everything, it will wipe out all the jobs, and probably we have no jobs left. And this has been happening since every time there is something new. The computer came, everybody lost the jobs. That's what they say. When there is internet, then everybody is going to lose their jobs, no jobs left. And when mobile phone, internet, every new invention, people continues to be a misinformation. But now we see with AI, the hype is at the peak, and this bunch of researchers in this conference working through different tracks then can help in removing such misinformation and hype. So I'm sure this is going to happen. So it is important, this august audience of researchers in the entire world, and particularly very fantastic work being done in India through this conference. I can see they would address the anxiety and trust issues around applying AI in almost every domain and build a community of like-minded people through this forum, and can help address the challenges, especially the sustainability is a great challenge, with what's going on around the world these days. And I'm sure this will be done due to the immense transformative and translative power of INDIACom conference, a very impactful one. And in the next couple of days, it would be great to see brainstorming and sharing of innovative ideas being pursued by every researcher in India and rest of the world. So thank you for having me, and best wishes for a great conference. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your insightful talk. We're grateful to you. It's a great privilege to welcome Professor Tom Gideon, Optus Chair in Artificial Intelligence, Curtin University, Perth, Australia, known for his distinguished contribution to artificial intelligence and human-centric computing. May I now request sir to kindly deliver his invited talk. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Excuse me. Thank you very much. It's a great pleasure to be speaking to you all today. I have had the honor of speaking at this conference a couple of times. The first time in person, exactly at the halfway point from the start to today. I was physically at the 2016 edition of INDIACom. And it is very pleasant to see it continue to increase in importance and visibility in that time. Of course, I just realized I should have started with thanking Professors Hoda and Yamin and the fantastic team which runs INDIACom. The previous speakers have spoken about sustainability and the focus on the conference, so I thought I would do something a little bit different. What I would like to do is to put a thought in all of your heads. I'm a professor of AI, but I'm very much interested in human-centric aspects. What I'd like to suggest to you is that the areas of human-computer interaction and AI are converging. It is rare these days to have a tool, any kind of tool, whether it's an app on a phone or a computer system or a robot, which interacts with people, which does not have AI aspects. And at the same time, all AI tools need to interact with people. Some of them don't do it very well as yet, which was the other bit I was going to say, is that we need to do a lot more work on making AI tools, particularly, more human-friendly. Let me give you an example. I'm sure many of you have used ChatGPT or similar tools. You'll notice two things which are different when compared to talking to a fellow human being. There is a stop button. If two of us are talking, neither of us needs a stop button. It is very wait, stop, right? We understand each other as human beings, but computer systems currently are really quite terrible at that. We need to improve that. The other thing you might notice is, particularly ChatGPT, has this habit of when you put in a prompt, it will give you an answer and it says, oh, and I could tell you this extra thing. Do you want that as well? And you go, yes. And then it tells you something more and it says, oh, I could tell you something more. Now, what that is trying to do is a very, very primitive form of trying to simulate interpersonal communication. It turns out you don't even have to type yes, you just hit the Y key and hit return. Very minimal interaction. But what it's trying to do is to make it feel a bit more like a conversation. When two people are talking and I'm answering a question, I get to a certain point, I slow down, look at the other person in a slightly different way, they respond again slightly, and I know whether it's their turn to say something, whether I've said enough thanks and stop, or whether to keep going. All of these things will make our interaction with computer systems way better than they currently are. So if you're an AI researcher, reach out to the HCI folk down the corridor or in the next building or in the next city if there isn't anybody closer, and vice versa. If you're writing software or a HCI person, the AI people desperately need you. Please enjoy the conference, and I wish I was there with you. I had a great time in 2016. I'm sure you will all have a great time at this conference this year. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your valuable insights. We are really grateful. We are delighted to welcome Dr. Yasir Adiz, Greenwich University, London, for his invited talk. Your presence adds immense value to this global academic platform. I request, sir, to kindly address the gathering. Dr. Yasir, am I audible to you? Dr. Yasir, am I audible?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Over to you, sir.
Thank you, and congratulations to Professor Hoda and Dr. Yamin for the success of this conference. It's gone a long way. I've been associated with the conference since, I think, 2017, and it has really been a very significant advances made in this conference, significant and notable in its contribution to the computing profession. In the past year, we have seen a tremendous advance in the deployment of AI applications, and yet we continue to experience very high levels of information system project failure. What I mean by information system projects are projects which are used to facilitate human communications in organizations, government or business organizations. And, you know, I'm just going to share some of my reflections on the rationale why we are still facing such high levels of IT project failure. To better understand this, one needs to divide the computing profession into a number of levels, at least 5 levels. When we are dealing with science, we are either dealing with them at the physical level, or the empirical level, or the syntactic level, or the semantic level, or at the pragmatics level. At the physical level, we are dealing with how we put science into material, putting science into disk drives, onto screens and printers, the world of the computer engineer, In that area, we have done very well. The advances have been tremendous in the last 50, 60, 70 years. At the next level, the empirics level, again, we see tremendous advances. The empirics level is the level that deals with the movement of science from one location to another, accurately and quickly. That's the world of the telecommunications engineer. And the advances there have been really quite astounding. At the next level up, the level of dealing with the syntactic properties of science, that is taking one set of science and converting them to another set of science. Again, we see tremendous advances. That's the world of computer science and software engineering. And this is actually where the world of AI sits. Converting fourth generation language into assembler language, converting one set of text taking say 5 million pages of text and summarizing them into 5 sentences. All of these types of applications involve converting signs into another set of signs. And again, the advances there have been significant. However, when we move on to the next level, which is the world of semantics, here we're dealing with the anchoring of signs to reality, the relationship between signs on a computer and reality. This is when we start to run into serious problems. Let me give you a simple example of what I mean by that. In an information system application, let's suppose we're dealing with a contracting application. Someone's sitting in Delhi and he has a request for the delivery of, say, widgets in Russia, and he's going to deliver it from his warehouse in Istanbul. The guy sitting in Delhi and looking at his screen sees signs on the screen. An information system is there to facilitate the anchoring of those signs that he sees on his screen to reality. So if the order from Russia is for 500 widgets, and he sees on his screen that he's got 600 widgets in his Istanbul warehouse, he will be able to form a contract and commit to the delivery of those 500 widgets. But that is contingent on those signs on his computer being accurately anchored to those to the reality in his Istanbul warehouse. And this is really where the problem arises. The anchoring of signs in a computer to the world outside is the world of semantics. And this is actually where the problems of information systems development arises. It arises in another area as well, in the pragmatics as well. But in this area, if we have a look at the teaching curriculums of computer science at universities, including very good universities, you'll find very little advance has been made. What was taught in mostly information systems and database courses 45 years ago is still being taught more or less the same to this date. Very little has advanced in the curriculums for teaching new graduates in information systems, systems analysts and business analysts in particular. The next level up, the pragmatics, is the world where when we use a sign, we change the world. So if I was to say to Professor Hodder, you're fired, and he would look at me and say, what are you talking about? You have no such power. You can't do that. This is the world of pragmatics. And it's a big field. And again, we don't teach our systems analysts anything about the world of pragmatics, how we use signs to change the world. And so in both the semantics and the pragmatics, we are still more or less where we were 45 years ago, completely different to the world of physical use of signs, the empirical use of signs, and the syntactic use of signs. In computer engineering, advances have been absolutely magnificent. Telecommunications, not as great, but still very, very significant. Computer science, very significant, particularly in the AI field. But in semantics and pragmatics, we are still crawling. And this is actually where our information system projects fail. Very few of them fail because of bad software engineering or bad computer science. They fail because we are unable to write the requirement specifications correctly to deal with the issues of semantics and pragmatics. That's really all I want to share with you and bring to your attention this particular soft spot in our computing profession. And I'll leave it to you. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to share these ideas with you.
Thank you, sir, for the illuminating and enriching talk. We are delighted to welcome Professor George Halikiais from Department of Mathematics and Computer Science, University of Athens, Greece. It's a privilege to have such an eminent academic with us. BVICAM warmly welcomes you, sir. I kindly please deliver your invited talk. Professor George, am I audible?
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you.
Over to you.
Thanks. Right. Okay. All right. First of all, let me send my greetings from Athens in Greece, and my best wishes to Professor Hoda, Professor Yamin, to all organizers and participants, and to all colleagues and friends, some of whom are here. Let me say that I'm very highly honored to be invited to INDIACom 26 and to be associated with this prestigious conference. I will try to say a very few words on the topic of energy sustainability in relation to some of my own research, which is in systems and control engineering. First of all, let me define what is sustainability. I'm sure everybody knows it, but if you look at the dictionary, you will find the definition that sustainable development is the development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. So this definition suggests that somehow we need to balance the present consumption of all the natural resources against those of future generations. And this means that somehow we have to sacrifice, if we have to sacrifice, we might have to sacrifice something today for the benefit of tomorrow. Let me say very briefly a few words about my own background and my research interests. By training, I'm an electrical engineer, but I'm currently working at the Department of Mathematics at the National University of Athens in Greece, where I'm director of the Research Center of Applied and Computational Mathematics. My main research interests are in the areas of robust and optimal control, risk, and applications on energy sustainability. Now, due to the complexities of the problems related on automated decision making, and by tradition, automation has been the domain of control engineering, among other disciplines. Traditionally, the main task of control engineering is to regulate a dynamic process via what's called automatic feedback. And this is based on monitoring all the important output variables, regulation variables, we call them, of a process, and feeding this information back to the input of the system to decide a specific actuation scheme. For example, by solving an optimization problem or updating the solution of an optimization problem. Now, in early applications, the control of a process was entirely model-based. But as the complexity of the problem increases, this may no longer be possible. Typically, if you take the case of a complex sustainability decision, this takes place in real time and sometimes involves millions of low-level decisions every second, and also sophisticated algorithms are used to, for example, optimize energy, resource allocations, and performance objectives in general. Examples include problems of energy dispatch, cloud scheduling of traffic optimization, cloud scheduling, traffic optimization, and others. So increasingly, due to high complexity, sustainability is enforced by automatic feedback control loops, since human-in-the-loop solutions are no longer possible because they cannot scale up. They're not scalable. As a result of this increased level of complexity, control design methodology in recent years has undergone some significant changes. The main characteristic of this change to move away from classical control, what's called classical control, towards, just to explain this distinction, classical control typically relies on models which are physics-based or chemistry-based or biology-based, depending on the application. In contrast, data-driven control relies on models which are learned from data, part of the feedback loop, of the feedback control system. Incomplete information and uncertainty is addressed using artificial intelligence and machine learning techniques based on numerous advanced statistical prediction methods. From classical driven control, many theoretical advances have taken place in recent years by developing new concepts and new techniques. And no doubt this will continue to evolve in the future and become more and more advanced. I will try to identify very briefly 3 of the important areas in the area of control that contribute towards this transition towards data-driven control. The first is the shift from so-called centralized solutions towards decentralized or distributed control. Again, the main reason of this shift is the complexity of the emerging applications, which makes centralized solutions impractical or purely impossible. The shift is due to several factors. First factor is the bulk of information that needs to be processed, is the need for design validation, which is an important aspect of many engineering processes. And finally, the last factor is the computational overload in real-time applications, which may be prohibitive. Now, this is the first shift from centralized towards distributed control. There is a second important development, and this is in the area of cooperative network control. This is an area of research which is relatively recent and is inspired by complex cyber-physical systems, for example, multi-area power systems and smart grids. Mathematically, cooperative network control is a fusion of dynamical system theory and graph theory. And this framework allows us to model the interaction also of multiple rational agents, many players in the system, which can either cooperate or compete with each other. And this topic is normally analyzed using game theory. The last factor is the trend which I mentioned earlier towards data-driven systems, intelligent control. As I mentioned earlier, for systems of high complexity, analytical models may be impossible to use or they may be impractical. A possible solution is to disperse completely with analytical models, mathematical-based models, and to rely instead of on pure data descriptions for the system. There is also an intermediate case of so-called mixed or hybrid models, which are half analytical, half data-driven. And this is also an active area of research. So you can have a small, part of the model is based on mathematical equations, simple mathematical equations for most part, and the remaining part is data-driven. And also some recent trends in research also involve a shift away from fixed structure controllers again to more general for the controller. So let me just make a short conclusion. In the two main disciplines of computing and information technology are indispensable to the success of complex systems and in particular to energy sustainability policies. And this means that the future tendency, as I predict, it will be to move away from rigid boundaries between disciplines and towards a synergy between information technology, AI, and control. And this should have significant impacts on the design of academic courses and training courses. Okay, this is all for me. Thank you very much for your attention. I'm looking forward to a successful and productive conference for INDIACom 26. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for your valuable address and your best wishes. We now welcome Dr. Faisal Usman Al-Buraidi, Qasim University, Saudi Arabia, for his invited talk. Over to you, sir.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for having me. Hope you are have a great day. And hopefully, can you hear me and can you see me now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You're absolutely audible. Over to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for Prof. Yamin for his actually efforts and Prof. Huda for inviting me. And thank you so much for all your contribution actually in computing field. I can see that it is promising actually, and that's what way I wanted to express my wishes for you guys. And a little bit about my background is quite interesting in how to enhance our society to be more tech and more involved in digital world as we see now. All the aspect of our life, I could almost been digitalized. So I am concerned about the people, they're bunch of people, they can't achieve or reach this advanced technology, how we are able to enable them to use this advanced technology in terms of digitalized world, in terms of education activities, in terms of how to elevate your awareness about life, about environment, about how to increase, for example, or how to enhance your economic. All this now is available. All this, what they call, all this factor is available, but want a huge investment to elevate the accessibility for this technology in terms of some like areas in our world, they are still in not the in kind of the ability to use this technology. So that's what I am interested on. Actually, I did a lot of things in virtual reality environment, how to convert any digital, any traditional environment to be digitalized and to be able to access these kind of environment. So that's actually what I am interested on, and I can see the bright future actually for us, and that's what I am wanted to like highlight these actually abilities it is in our hand now, but it's one we need more to invest and also to enhance the researcher to be more collaborating with the what they called it capital cycles in terms of GCC countries or in terms of South North Asia. So that's what I am interested in, and thank you so much for having me, and thank you so much for all your efforts. That's what I have for today. Have a good one.
Thank you, sir, for your gracious and insightful address. We are truly honored to have a respected academician and inspiring institution builder, Professor A.K. Nayak, former President, Computer Society of India, with us online. He has devoted decades of teaching, training, research, and academic administration in computer science, information technology, and management. I request sir to kindly deliver the keynote address.
Thank you very much, Parul Ma'am, for giving me this opportunity to speak on this great occasion. Honorable President of this August ceremony, the 20th INDIACom 2026 and 13th International Conference, and our mentor, our guide, and our patron, Professor Dr. K.K. Agrawal Sahib, the Honorable President of the South Asian University, as well as the former President of IEEE, former National President of CSI, and the founder Vice Chancellor of the Indraprastha University, New Delhi. Honorable Chief Guests, Honorable Guest of Honor from the different countries, and the General Chair of this conference, and the key architect of this conference, international conference, my most beloved younger brother, Professor Dr. M.N. Hodaji, my brother Dr. A.K. Saini Sahib, my brother Dr. R.K. Bas, my younger brother Dr. Shiv Kumar ji, and many dignitaries, guests, and invitees who are present on this august occasion, and the dearest and nearest students, and delegates, press and media, and other participants. It's indeed a very proud opportunity for me, and I am very much blessed again to address on this auspicious occasion on this great platform of 30th INDIACom, in which I am a continuous participant since last 17 years. There is no doubt, as I have told several times this previous पंक्ति, the previous stanza, ना हर रात को चांद नसीब होता है, ना हर इंसान को मंजिल प्राप्त होता है, ना हर सम्मेलन इंडियाकॉम जैसे होता है, ना सूरज का बिना सुबह होता है, ना चांद का बिना रात होता है, ना बादल का बिना बरसात होता है, ना डॉक्टर एम.एन. हुडा का बिना INDIACom संभव होता है. I'm not that I'm giving very compliment to Dr. Hoda in either this way or that way, because he's a personality. He deserves it for organizing a conference, international conference of such magnitude. I became very pleased to know that there are people from 26 countries, the delegates are participating, and paper contribution has been made by 8,000 authors and more than 2,800 papers, out of which 2,200 plus papers have been found authenticated, and near about 800 papers have been selected, and the ISBN, ISSN, and international journal publications will be there. And to imagine, to have the organization of a conference of such magnitude, it is amazing and unparalleled. That means, whatever the compliment and the best wishes can be bestowed upon Professor Hoda, this will be very less as per my context. People in the computing field, everybody knows that both of us are the big brother and younger brother, elder brother and younger brother. I am much proud to have a personality like him who is doing all these things in such a great magnitude. And so far as theme is concerned, computing for sustainable global development, it's a very persistent topic. It cannot be outdated or it cannot be, and it cannot be outdated at any time. That is why we are continuing with this theme since last 20 years. Because there are enough scopes and enough doors and rooms for the development so far as the sustainable global development is concerned. And apart from this, now the recently emerging AI technique, artificial intelligence, and it has been widened the scope so far the range of computing and domain of the computing is concerned, so far the social global, sustainable global development is concerned. My dear friends, everybody might be knowing the UNO has taken 17 agenda in the 2015 to achieve the target by 2030, so far as the sustainable global development is concerned. And the agendas are very clear to everybody. The 17 agendas that have been taken because of to have a hungerless, to have a poverty-less world, as well as to protect the planets, as well as ensuring the peace and justice and the development and the prosperity. And the 17 agenda have been fixed: no hunger, no poverty, quality health care and sanitation, well-being, education, affordable energy, and gender equality, and a good infrastructure, economic growth, sustainable cities, the standard of life below the water, on the land, a lot of peace and justice, partnership, lot of things have been maintained. 17 agendas are there. And this computing, and particularly its domain now, the artificial intelligence can play a very vital role. Rather, in principle, it has been decided the optimal utilization of the computing and the artificial intelligence should be there for satisfying these causes and achieving the target. My dear friend, but the thing is that when we are talking of the complete implementation of the artificial intelligence and take the optimal benefit of the artificial intelligence, so definitely we must have to have some concern regarding so far the AI ethics and AI governance is concerned, which is a great concern for today for the global community. AI ethics, there are some fundamental guidelines how the ethics in the AI can be followed and how it can be very effectively governed so that it can be utilized for the benefits of the mankind, for the benefits of the different applications which can make the countries and the globes to achieve the sustainable development. My dear friends, we all have seen that what is the bad effect of the artificial intelligence that sometimes we see in the social media and the publicity channels and all these things that have to be effectively and even by following the ethics, if artificial intelligence can be used and practiced, there is no doubt it will be able and capable to achieve our goals so far as the sustainable global development is concerned. So that is why you see, when the country like India, when we think, and perhaps we are going to take a major share so far as the artificial intelligence, the practice and development is concerned, and we do have that kinds of capability, and we do have that kinds of manpower, and definitely our Prime Minister became one of the champions so far convening the AI summit at New Delhi, and multiple $1 billion projects there. And definitely we should exploit the best opportunities out of it. So that is when we are talking of the computing for the sustainable global development. Its scope and opportunities are unlimited, and optimal use of this technology should be there. And talking of the sustainable global development, that means that with the development for each and every citizen, development of each and every mankind, development of the climate action, development of the financial empowerment, all aspects, not a single aspect will be untouched so far the AI application and computing applications are there. Every walk of our life, not every walk of our life will not be unimpacted, rather it will be doing all the things. I think the Bharati Vidyapeeth Institute of Computer Application and Management is doing a very tremendous work, and for the social development, for the community development, for the national development, for the global development, by organizing these kinds of conferences where the wide deliberations and discussions are being taken place by the peoples of the across the world, that we are talking of 26 number of countries, it is going in increasing and enhancing. And I will definitely compliment to my younger brother, Professor M.N. Hoda, that it is you can tell it is an international conference, you can tell it is a multinational conference, or we can tell it is a global conference. So that magnitude that the INDIACom is telling, and I can tell very proudly that I have attended so many international conferences, and I have already in the capacity of the keynote speaker, somewhere the chief guest, somewhere anywhere. But I have never seen in India a conference of such magnitude that there where so many research papers are being gathered and so many people's experts are being utilized for reviewing and selecting the papers, and in multi-facet, in multiple ways the papers are being published by IEEE Explorer and by all these things. And further, Dr. Hoda has been capable to synchronize as well as to making the collaboration of so many professional societies, and within this conference, organization of this conference, whether it may be Computer Society of India, Indian Society for Technical Education, IET, IEEE, IMP and IITP and so many things, and IEEE Computer Society. It's a great effort that one should have compliment to Dr. Hoda for this great effort and great things. And we, all the computer professionals, looking forward for his dynamism and for the future. And in future, may God give him enough strength and capacity to organize this conference and to take this conference in not only international but in global forum, and more number of countries will be participated. And definitely I do have the belief that can be possible, all possible in the future days to come. With these few words, because in the time constraint is there and so many speakers are there in the line, and it is the credit also of this conference, and by all the respect to my honorable guru and mentor Dr. K.K. Agrawal, who is presiding over this function permanently since last 20 years, as well as extending my gratitude and thanks, as well as my blessing to my younger brother Professor M.N. Hoda, and all my younger brothers who are being present there, Professor Vyas, Professor Saini, and Shiv Kumarji, and many of our well-wishers and all these things. I conclude my speech. Thank you very much, and let this INDIACom should ignite the mankind as well as help for really developing the sustainable global development. Thank you very much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for your heartful best wishes for us. Thank you so much, sir. It's now my privilege to welcome Professor Mohammed Yamin, the Australian National University, Canberra, Australia, for his invited talk. We are grateful for your presence and delighted to have you as part of INDIACom 2026. I now request Sir to kindly address the gathering. We are really privileged to have all the international guests, so huge applause to all of them. Over to you, sir. Professor Yamin, sir, are you there? Am I audible to you, sir? Yamin, sir? Yamin, sir, are you there?
A minute. Yes. Now you can hear me.
Yes, sir. We can absolutely hear you.
Yes. So I thought some enemies of mine in Delhi had muted me, so I was unable to speak anyway. Thank you very much for involving me, continuously inviting me for this conference. Respected Professor Agarwal, okay, I think I'll just go to. Can you still hear me? Hello? Can you still hear me?
Yes, sir, absolutely.
We are hearing you, sir, Professor Naik, from this side.
Yeah, you can hear me.
Yes, sir,
Yes.
we can hear you.
We are hearing you.
You see, my problem has been that I'm in the midst of transferring or moving my house to a new house, which I have developed in the last 5 months or so. But I have moved about 10-15% reluctantly, because 3 times burglars, the robbers, came and robbed my house. Okay, they stole tea and coffee, they stole the pipes, they stole some of those things, the cables and so on. So I decided to stay in this house. The problem is that I don't have many of my things which help me to do these kind of things. Anyway, so I brought my laptop and I logged on both laptop and my mobile, now on my mobile. So this is the problem. Excuse me for that. So, respected Professor Agarwal, Professor Huda, distinguished guests, colleagues, and participants, and dear students, good evening from me, from Cambridge University. It is my privilege and, of course, responsibility to stand or to be with you today. Many of you have heard my name and most of people know me. In fact, I'm thankful to Professor Tom Gideon, who reminded me the year we joined first time. That was the year, I think I joined with him, or the year before, I don't remember. But it was a gamut of people coming from different countries, and we took a bus load of people, full bus, to Agra and to Fatehpur Sikri, and so on and so forth. So INDIACom not only is providing a forum for academic excellence and so on, but also cultural. And in fact, one of the years later on, with one of my friends, Professor Basel, Professor Huda organized us to go to, I think I forgot the place, it's 4 hours from Nainital. Wonderful, and my friend Abdullah Basel says, the view, majestic view from there of Himalayas. He said that what you call the Switzerland is nothing. Anyway, so you can have some very beautiful places there. So look, I regard my partnership with India spans over a decade, as you know, and I regard it as a family affair. And I'm delighted that some of my friends are here speaking or listening to the conference. Professor Huda has already gone through the names. I don't think I should. However, I should tell a couple of things before I say something else. Many of you know that, you already know, people repeatedly have spoken about the magnitude of this conference. This conference is an excellent conference. It's an excellent forum for people in India and outside, but also Bharati Vidyapeeth, which is an organization behind this INDIACom, also publishes one very formidable journal. Professor Huda spoke about it. That's the International Journal of Information Technology. It is a scopus of very high end, and I think very soon, I haven't spoken to Professor Huda, will be becoming will be indexed in a web of science. I don't know. I'm lost a bit of track, what kind of journals India is producing, but surely it must be one of those high-end journals, and I'm honored, I'm privileged to be an editor of that. So INDIACom is doing excellent in academically, not only through conference and so on, but also through the journals. Okay. In fact, I should not mince words. This is the hard work of the staff of Bharati Vidyapeeth, of course, led by who? None but Professor Huda. He is charismatic in organizations, and he has made this place wonderful, and he has brought in things which are very valuable for academics and otherwise. We are living in an age. What age? In an age where machines are learning faster than before, where data is growing beyond imagination, and where artificial intelligence is reshaping the future in real time. But let me ask you a question. Can you hear me? Let me ask you a question. Yes. Are we progressing? This is a question we should ask. Or we are merely accelerating, not progressing, but accelerating. I ask this question because progress without innovation is progress without direction is dangerous. Progress without innovation, without responsibility is unrealistic and unsustainable, and intelligence without ethics is incomplete and can be fatal. This is why the theme of this conference, Computing for Sustainable Global Development, is not just relevant, but it is urgent. It's very much needed. It's evergreen, and it never die. It will never die. That is why INDIACom keeps this theme always there. Today, the artificial intelligence stands at crossroads. On one side, we see efficiency, automation, unprecedented capability. But on the other side, what do we see? On the other side, we see rising energy consumption, ethical uncertainty, and growing digital divide. Let us be clear. If AI grows without sustainability, it will scale problems. It will not solve them. If computing ignores humanity, it will optimize systems but fail societies. So the real question is not how powerful can our systems become. The real question is how responsible can we make them. When aligned with purpose, computing becomes transformative. It can power clean energy systems. It can predict disasters, extend healthcare to the most remote communities, if we use it in a positive manner. But only if we design it that way, that it is aligned to the needs of the society rather than just madly going about the speed and scalability and so on. I am aware that there are, I think Professor Agrawal, and there are some other things are happening and so many speakers. I don't want to derail. I would like to close. I would like to end here, but just one sentence, one line that let us give a call to build algorithms that save energy, not consume it blindly. Okay, so that's about it from me, but I think I just wanted to make a comment earlier, but let me do it before I leave. INDIACom, not only producing journals, not only doing excellent conference, and in fact, no one has said, even Professor Huda did not mention, they have a weekly series of lectures. I think last month or so, this was the 200th, I think, double century thing that was. It's a wonderful thing. Anyway, so INDIACom is producing so many good things, but it is also producing one thing. What is it? I think it's producing some very good poets. If it continues, I think Professor Nayak and Professor Huda, they may be competing in a mushaira or in a Kavi Sammelan. So that's where it is going. Anyway, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for inspiring and insightful keynote address. Thank you so much, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, it's great honor me for invite esteemed chief guest, Ms. Shivani Yadav, MD and Global Business Unit Head, Nagaro. A huge round of applause for the inaugural address. Her leadership is the global technology ecosystem stands as an inspiration for all of us, and we are privileged to have her among us today. A huge round of applause for ma'am.
Warm good evening to all dignitaries, colleagues from academia and fraternity. As I stand here, I feel truly humbled and honored. Thank you to Mr. Huda to kind of extending the invite and facilitating me. It's a privilege, sir. I walked in the room and it truly felt nostalgic and emotional. It kind of reminded me, I passed out in 2004 with my master's. It felt like a lifetime, but while I was looking last 1 hour at all the beaming faces, it reminded me of my student days. I must candidly admit, it was reminiscence of a lot of these conferences that we attended, but of course it was mandated by the institutions, and our aim was to kind of mark our attendance and to find the best corner, and the institution aim was to make sure that we take some key learnings from these conferences. That we did, and that made us the professional that we are today. So just a brief about myself. I am FinTech by education. I did my economics honors from SRCC and MCA. A unique combination, but this combination landed me to work with the global financial institution for a decade, where I was looking after the trading platforms and online channels. I belong to an era where we introduced mobile banking, which are kind of way of life today. And that indicates where I've seen a technology disruption in this lifetime. Currently, I am managing director with Nagaro, and as a role, I am global business unit head with industry and manufacturing as a vertical, which is one of the 6 verticals that we have in the organization. My role gives me access to talk to the top industry leaders from various spaces. We are talking to automotive giants, we are talking to health tech companies, we are talking to building techs, energy and utility companies, and so forth. One of the key themes that I have observed in the last 3 years, that sustainability as a topic has really bubbled up in the charter of most of these industries. In fact, when we are talking to the CXOs, it is one of their top 3 priorities that we are talking through, where they're engaging the companies like global consulting like us. Looking at the facts, we are talking about Forbes 2000. They have made it like turn in stone in terms of carbon net zero footprint. Coming back to the home turf, we have industries like Reliance, Tata's investing billions. In fact, Reliance had 10 billion worth of investment in the energy and decarbonization topic. This is all about what organizations are doing at scale, what's on the ground. So just talking from my personal experience, I spent nearly a decade living and working in Australia. Topics like renewable, water management, climate accountability was part of everyday ethos, deeply ingrained in a way of life. Then I moved back to India in 2014. Here, sustainability conversation felt different. It was not just about carbon emission. It was about scale, affordability, and access. In Australia, it meant mainly about reducing impact, but over here, it was about balancing growth with impact at the same time. That is where computing becomes extremely powerful. Tech is just not the contribution to sustainability, it's about amplifying it, because it is the only tool that can scale solutions for billions of people. Let's reflect this very moment. I think in last 10 minutes, I can already see in the room, most of us have touched our phones either to scroll or to check emails or messages, or maybe to check the time when the conference is ending. Having said that, think about it. This is the same computing that is writing planetary algorithms. We are talking about AI is disruptive. Can it change the world? The question is, can AI save the world that we are changing? So on that theme, we see conference or like this with the theme of computing for global sustainable development is extremely relevant. For decades, this topic was governed by policy, infrastructure, and behavioral change. Now, a fourth pillar has emerged, which is computational intelligence. We are entering a phase where AI models, digital twins, industrial IoT, cloud-scale platforms are extremely relevant. We are moving from manual sustainability to algorithmic sustainability. Let's talk about three main future-facing topics, which all of us can relate to. One is climate. We are talking about global warming. We are talking about the climatic conditions and changes. Second, industries and infrastructure. We all know 1/3 of carbon emissions the industries are contributors of that. And third is our ever-depleting natural resources. What are we leaving for future and how tech can impact that? Starting from climatic intelligence. Every microsecond, we are getting gigabytes of data from climatic data lakes, satellite constellation, and remote sensors. What is it really doing? We are building and predicting extreme weather conditions weeks in advance with great precision. We are talking about simulating climatic interventions with strategies. In the next decade, what we will see is emergence of climate AI platforms where governments and industries run climate simulation the way companies run financial simulation as of today. Second, about digital twins. We have all heard that. I'm sure that in your academia curriculum, you must have seen it. But in the real world as of today, digital twin is a real-time, data-driven virtual replica of a physical system. Look through the impact. It is infrastructure designed and tested virtually before being built. We are talking about predictive maintenance, eliminating resource waste altogether. Factories reducing energy consumption autonomously. We are moving from reactive sustainability to predictive and autonomous sustainability. And finally, global resource systems. We are talking about reducing manually optimizing systems. We are entering into the era where systems are self-optimizing. Think through the impact, where we are building autonomously adjusting energy consumption, agriculture guided by AI-driven climatic intelligence, and smart supply chains minimizing emissions globally. These are examples of closed-loop sustainable system. This is where AI, cloud, and edge computing converge to create a self-healing, self-optimizing intelligence. This shift creates a profound change in the role of all the technologists. In the past, technology optimized convenience, productivity, and profitability. In future, tech must optimize sustainability, resilience, and equity. This is a massive responsibility because algorithms we design today will influence how energy flows, how cities grow, how resources are consumed, and how climate risk is managed. We are becoming architects of planetary algorithms. Finally, over the past few decades, we have really heard a lot about how do we digitize. But the shift is, how do we digitize to decarbonize? This intersection of tech plus sustainability will define the most important career and innovation for the next 20 years. For students and young professionals, this is a once-in-a-lifetime generation moment. We are entering a workforce exactly when industry becomes autonomous, infrastructure is becoming software-defined, climate is becoming data problem, and sustainability is becoming computational. Few generations get this opportunity to redefine how the world operates, and this is one of the movements. The defining question for the next decade is not, can technology advance fast enough? We are already seeing disruptions of AI. At least all of us are in the room where we have seen from color TV to, from black and white TV to color TV, it took almost a decade, but now it is kind of evolving every hour, every week, we are seeing new changes. The big question for tomorrow is, can technology advance responsibly enough? The future of sustainability will not be decided only in the policy rooms and boardrooms. It will be shaped in code repositories, data platform, AI models, and digital architectures. And many of the people shaping that future are sitting in the room today. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for an inspiring inaugural address. It was really wonderful hearing from you. It's now my privilege to invite our esteemed chief guest, Mr. Alok Vadhera, Vice President Engineering, Capgemini Engineering, for the inaugural address. We are honored by his presence and deeply appreciate his support for academia industry engagement. May I now request sir to kindly address the gathering. Over to you, sir.
Very good afternoon, friends. Distinguished Professor Agarwal, Professor Huda, esteemed researchers, faculty, IEEE community, students, a deep and a warm thank you for giving me this opportunity. It's a privilege and honor for me speaking in front of you on this topic, which is definitely a great topic where it talks about a paradox. We are talking in terms of global development, we are talking in terms of computing, and we are talking in terms of sustainability. These are some of the things which actually go against each other. When we develop, we consume resources. All the panel members, guest of honors, talked about depleting resources and how sustainability has to be taken care of. But first, before going to challenges, let me talk about the positive. Let me talk about the computing, where it has taken us. Today, a street vendor, we all know, has an access to a bank account. He has an access to a UPI system. We can make a payment to him in seconds directly to his bank account. All this is because of computing. We have Aadhaar system. We have systems today where direct benefit of the government schemes goes to the account of the different people directly, without a middleman coming into, without the bureaucracy coming into, without the systems coming into. We have, Shivani also allured upon, we have a farmer who's sitting, he has an access to a device which tells him the weather patterns. And mind you, maybe a decade back, we used to laugh when the weather forecast used to say it's going to rain. It used to be sunny that day, right? Now the time has changed. The weather forecast is very, very precise. And the farmer who has an access to it can use the weather forecast to have that kind of which crop to sow, when to sow that particular thing from that particular perspective. We have e-Sanjeevani, where a patient in a remote city, a remote village, hundreds of kilometers away, can get an access to a super specialty medical professional today. All that has been made possible, and these are not isolated stories. These are just in some of the sectors that we are talking about. We have beyond these also many other stories which talk in terms of deeper transformation, while computing is quietly but powerfully reshaping how we live, work, and sustain ourselves. The same digital ecosystem that provides these breakthroughs also consumes vast amounts of energy, and that's where sustainability comes into play. US today has 4,000 plus data centers. India has 250, 300 plus data centers. Each of these data centers consumes huge amount of energy, and it is at this point of time perceived that around 7 to 12% of US global production of electricity is going to be consumed by these data centers. India's consumption of energy by these data centers is going to increase 5-fold in the next 4 years. That's the kind of consumption which is going to be. Today, most of us use ChatGPT, right? ChatGPT consumes 10 times more power, electricity, than what Google search used to take. So you can see how much more energy it's consuming, and 25 searches on ChatGPT is equivalent to half a liter of fresh water that you consume. You think how much energy is being consumed? And that's just water I talked about. It consumes 15 minutes of the mobile time or mobile usage that a person has. That much bandwidth is consumed by 25 prompts or searches on a ChatGPT. That's the kind of energy consumption that we are talking about. But we have to ensure, as researchers, as academicians, as industry leaders, how to have a balance between the energy consumed as well as the energy which is being produced at this point of time. We are at a critical intersection. Sustainability rests on multiple pillars. And if we talk about some of these pillars here, green and responsible computing is where we have to put all our directions on. Artificial intelligence is the second pillar, which is for cloud, and we talk about how AI systems have to be responsible, they have to be fair, they have to be accountable. We've seen examples where AI systems have been unbiased. We've seen deepfakes. We've seen the examples of misinformation being spread. We've seen healthcare disparities. Resume, a simple system of which created by Amazon had a gender bias in the AI. So we have to be aware of the technology and use it responsibly. That's where the responsible or artificial intelligence for good comes into play. The third pillar is digital inclusion. I did talk about Aadhaar, I did talk about UPI, e-Sanjeevani, for the farmers, e-Naam, the government has launched. Bhashini, many such initiatives are for digital inclusivity. So that's the third pillar of sustainable computing. And the final pillar is when we collaborate and have an ecosystem thinking coming together. That's where everything is come into play. But what is required to be done? We, as at least let me give my background first. I graduated in 1992 from IIT Roorkee, and then I have been in the industry for the last 34 years. I work as head of engineering for doing a global IP development, which is very different from the services work that we do. So we create intellectual properties and we license it to different customers for use. Now, in that, there are different questions in the engineering world that we have to ask ourselves. Can we achieve the same outcome with less compute? Can we design systems that can scale without proportionally increasing the energy consumption? And can we measure and optimize for sustainability like we do for performance and functionality? It has to be ingrained in our ecosystem. It's a call for action for all of us, for the engineers and developers. Build responsibly. Think through. Let sustainability guide your design principles. For the organizations, we have to measure what benefits are we giving to the society. We have to incorporate sustainability metrics into a core performance. I'll give an example. I work in Capgemini. 100% of, we have 200,000 employees, more than that, across India. 100% of our facilities run on renewable energy. We don't want to consume petrol, diesel, other form of energies or electricity. We have 100% of our fleet running on e-vehicles. We have all the employees incentivized for running an EV and provided with free electricity charging facility in the organization. So it is going beyond the CSR objectives. The organizations have to stand up and ensure that while they are taking benefits of computing, they have to think about sustainability and work in a sustainable way. To researchers and academia, please push the boundaries of innovation on energy efficient computing and inclusive technologies. One of the guests of honor also talked about efficient algorithms. And finally, to policymakers, create frameworks that encourage sustainable practices and foster innovation. Finally, the real question that is there before us is whether we will guide the technology with enough intention, responsibility, and foresight to ensure that the future we build is not only technological advanced, but also equitable and sustainable. Because the system that we design today will define the world we live in tomorrow. So thank you, and once again, I wish you all the best for an engaging and excellent 3 days of this workshop. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your motivating and valuable address. Encouraged by the resounding success of INDIACom since its inception in 2007, INDIACom 2026 celebrates 20th edition of INDIACom 20th edition of INDIACom scheduled during 8th and 10th 2026. It's being organized in collaboration with premier professional societies like IEEE, CSI, IETE, ISTE, IITP, IMP. This time, INDIACom 2026 received over 2,800 papers authored by more than 8,000 authors from 26 countries. Over 800 senior experts, researchers, delegates from 26 countries like USA, Australia, Malaysia, Canada, Saudi Arabia, Tunisia, Serbia, and many more will be participating during the 3 days of the conference. A total of 2,274 papers were found worth consideration for detailed technical review after a series of tough review exercises by a team of over 1,200 experts. 550 papers authored by more than 1,700 authors from different parts of the country and abroad have been accepted for presentation in INDIACom 2026 during the 3 days under different parallel tracks. A chosen set of 37 papers have also been published in the hard copy of the proceeding of ISBN and ISSN serials, which shall be released. So I request all the eminent dignitaries on the dais to kindly join in the release of the proceeding of INDIACom 2026. A huge round of applause. The entire process has been executed by the soft copy. I request, sir, to release the soft copy of the proceeding.
In your internet browser, then in the search bar, type INDIACom 2026 and click on the first link. Scroll down and on the left hand side, click on the INDIACom Proceedings section. Then, select INDIACom 2026. You will now see the description page of INDIACom 2026. From here, go to the menu bar and click on Papers to access all the research papers in one convenient place. This section.
It's a matter of great privilege to announce the release of Volume 18, Number 1 of Institute's International Journal of Information Technology Budget, ranked at Q1, published by Springer Nature from Singapore and indexed at SCI Mago and Scoopers with latest site score 9.6. A huge round of applause for the team. Thank you so much. BVICAM feels honored to unveil Volume 4, Number 2 of Manzil, a quarterly official magazine, an initiative of the Department of Journalism and Mass Communication of BVICAM. The publication reflects creativity, expression, and the literary and intellectual vibrance of the institution. I now request all the eminent dignitaries, along with Dr. Shield Nidhi Tripathi and Mr. Yasser, to kindly release Manzil. I feel privileged to unveil Bharati Times, a weekly news digest and initiative of the Department of Journalism and Mass Communication of BVICAM, New Delhi. Bharati Times invites readers to delve into a world of knowledge, exploration and insight. I again request all the eminent dignitaries along with Dr. Sheel and Mr. Yasser to kindly release Bharati Times in English. Honored to tell we have Bharati Times in Hindi as well. We are delighted to announce the release of the book 100 Days of Resilience, authored by Mr. Dhawan Dev Sood, Resiliency Coach and IEEE Ambassador. The title itself reflects a spirit of perseverance, self-belief and purposeful growth, qualities that resonate deeply with every learner and leader. In 100 Days of Resilience, globally recognized 200 days, you will learn how to reclaim ownership, sharpen institution, embed resilience, and lead the ripple. I now request all the eminent dignitaries, along with Mr. Daman Dev Sood, to kindly release the book. I now request Mr. Daman Dev Sood to kindly come on the podium and discuss his book about the audience.
Thank you very much. It's always an honor to be here in this institute, in this conference. Out of 20 episodes, I believe I have been part of at least 10. There couldn't be any better place, occasion to release this 11th book. I'm very happy. Resilience, just like sustainability, will have many different definitions. In simplest terms, resilience is my capability, your capability, our capability, our organization's capability to resist negative impact of any change, incident, event, crisis or disaster. For example, one happening globally today, the Middle East escalation. We will not be able to bear it, हिंदी में बोलते हैं झेल नहीं पाएंगे, if we were not resilient. When we say resilience, we also think of risk management, crisis management, disaster management, IT disaster recovery, information security, etc. For long, these were thought to be for the corporates. But today, resilience, risk, crisis is for all of us, all organizations, NGOs, private, public organizations, big, medium, small, including the educational institutes also. I was writing some quotes, which means a phrase or a sentence about resilience. When I reached 75, I took up a challenge to make it 100, and then also thought of converting it into the book. So this is how this book has come into picture. Each quote has been exploded into one chapter. There are 100 chapters, but each chapter is just one page. Now, some people like my son, my wife, can finish this book in single sitting in an hour or so. I myself am a very slow reader. But someone could take days, weeks, and months on each chapter. Because this is not to be read. This is to be imbibed. Resilience is a transformation. Culture of resilience is required in this country, in this organization, in our families. In the past, we used to say, people make organizations. I have made a little change in that. I say, resilient people make resilient organizations, which will make resilient communities, which will make ultimately the resilient planet that we all look forward to. This is not a textbook. I don't write fiction. I don't write fantasies. I write realities. I wish, well, this is big, but if it could be made into a gutka. Now, I'm not saying pan gutka, but a condensed version of Ramcharitmanas, for example, which has many kants. Each kant is that small gutka, which means it's in my pocket all the time. Which means, like Hanuman Chalisa, the smaller version, condensed version, which we can keep on the desk. In Mandir, for example, we open it every day. So whenever you are in a situation, please pick up the book. You'll find something there, someone as a guide walking with you hand in hand. Keep reading and ask questions. I'm happy to answer all the questions. Thank you very much once again, Professor Oda. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, sir. With immense pride and profound respect, we extend a warm welcome to Professor K.K. Agarwal, President, South Asian University, former Chairman, National Board of Accreditation, New Delhi, noted academician and founder Vice Chancellor, Guru Gobind Singh Indraprat's University. Sir is a towering figure in the field of higher education and technical leadership. His contribution to institution building, accreditation, academic policy and the advancement of engineering and computer science education has been extraordinary. His illustrious journey continues to inspire generations of students, scholars and administrators. Sir has devoted his life to building institutions, shaping minds and advancing technical education. A scholar of extraordinary merit, he rose to the position of professor at the young age of 27.5 years, reflecting a journey marked by brilliance, dedication, and leadership. His contribution to academia, research, professional bodies, and industry have earned him national and international acclaim. His remarkable legacy stands as a shining example of excellence, vision, service to the nation. Today, his august presence amongst us is a matter of great honor and inspiration. So, a huge round of applause for Professor K.K. Agarwal. Over to you, sir. Thank you so much.
Professor Hoda, the director of this institution and the focal point of this conference, INDIACom, for last 20 years at a stretch. The guests present here, Mr. Badhera, Shivani Yadav, Shiv Kumar, and Professor Kabra, and the faculty, senior faculty from Bharati Vidyapeeth. Distinguished delegates, dear students. My dear students, I will primarily be talking about 10 minutes to you because Hoda and all that keep on coming to me and we keep on chatting. So it's an opportunity for me to talk to you. My dear students, just imagine first that in 20 years ago, a team of 4 young people, Professor Hoda, Professor Shivkumar, Professor Sani and Professor Vyas, could think that we should do a conference. Yes, many people do the conferences, but a conference on computing and sustainable development. That's something great 20 years ago. I think many of you might not have been born 20 years before, but even computing was not all that common at that time, which it is today. The price of computing was terrifically high. I am very sure most of your parents would have gone bankrupt if you wanted that computing power that time, this computing power that time. It was just not possible. And at that time, to connect computing with sustainable development was something unbelievable, unthinkable. First of all, world was never that conscious of sustainability. And had it been, probably the problem of sustainability would not have been that much. The word, I'm an engineer, and I definitely am prepared to accept the blame that we engineers believed what Dr. Badhera said, that development and sustainability do not go hand in hand. And therefore, we focus all the time on development, forgetting sustainability completely. And that is the price which we are paying today. Friends, now we have definitely come to a level, first of all, where we have realized that without sustainability, we just cannot survive. It has not remained a desirable feature now. It has become a survival feature. And Ms. Shivani Yadav talked about climate change and sustainability and all its effects. I only wish there could have been people like me who could have talked about these things 25 years before, and world would have been much better place to live in. Friends, Mr. Vadera was very right when he says that this appears dichotomous, and it appeared dichotomous to us all the time. But just look at the finer threads and you will find it is not all that dichotomous. It can coexist. For example, he gave an example of weather forecasting. Many of you youngsters would not know that the first best computer India had was not for any computation, not for any scientific research, but was for weather forecasting. Weather forecasting was considered so important that the first supercomputer, so-called at that time, was purchased by India for weather forecasting because it was so important. And as he rightly said, we used to forecast weather of today, tomorrow, which really did not have any meaning, because you needed so many parameters to be processed in a very finite time, which was just not possible with the computing power available at that time. Today, weather forecasting has become almost on a real-time basis, and does it not help the sustainability? If farmer knows he can at least take care of the crop now, is it not sustainability? Is the farmer know that it's going to be rain? It's not sustainability. Does the farmer, can he find out the condition of the soil all the time? Is it not sustainability? Because if you can increase the production, that is sustainability. So friends, today we have definitely come to a level where computing and sustainability have a great connection, have a very strong connection. Professor Naik, when he was talking about sustainability development goals, reduction of poverty, reduction of hunger, clean water, clean energy, etc., etc. The 17 sustainability development goals which we all talk about. But imagine, can you think of these goals without the data processing, which we can do with the help of fast computers? We just cannot. So my dear students, today you have a very, very strong computing power in your pockets. Very strong computing power. We could not even think of this computing power in the whole institution 25 years ago, which each one of you now has in your pocket. That is the beauty of computational power and the affordable computational power. I remember when I came to Delhi to found IP University in 1998, the first mobile phone which I purchased was a bit like this, that size, and I think we paid 15,000 rupees at that time to buy that computer, smartphone, not smartphone, phone, mobile phone. And we used to pay 8 rupees per minute to talk, not video, just to talk. And we had to pay 4 rupees per minute to receive a call. That was the power. I am talking just 30 years ago, not generations ago. And compared to that, the power which you have today, you download a movie at the flick of a minute, second, and you see all the movies free, you read all the books free, you listen to the best lectures in the world, all free. We used to design curriculums and we used to call experts all over the country to sit for days and design the curriculum. Today you have the best curriculum in the world on your mobile. You have the best of books, all available free of cost practically on your mobile. You have all the resources free of cost. When we used to do research, PhD, literature survey used to take a couple of years, physical running to the libraries. And then sit in the library, look at the books, look at the journals, do the literature survey. Now the computer has everything for you and ChatGPT does your job, rest of the job, and you have the literature survey published as a chapter in fraction of a second. That's the beauty of competition. And you have only to connect it to the sustainability. I think at times we suffer now from abundance rather than the shortage. And that has been one problem with us. We generate data for the heck of it. Some of the data I think we never need to generate, but we generate. It has become a way of life that you speak anything, it's a data. You walk, it's a data. You sit, it's a data. You go anywhere, it's a data. It's generated without your knowledge most of the time. And we are very happy with those applications. And India, somebody just mentioned about the AI Summit. We had AI Summit last month, and I also had 2 sessions there. But the point is, we focus for the first time to the world that AI must be focused around 3 Ps: people, planet, and processes. Because if you don't care about the planet, this AI can be very, very dangerous game. And planet has to be taken care of, and that was one of the focus P in our AI Summit which India had. Similarly, people. If you don't care about people, then AI has no meaning. We'll have to care about processes. AI has to be there. Yesterday I was in Nalanda University to open a conference on AI, and I said, my dear young students, allow AI to be used, be very friendly with AI, make love with AI. You can't avoid it, you will have to face it, but do not allow AI to be autopilot. Allow AI to be your co-pilot. If you do that, then AI is a very useful tool for you. But if you say, I am resting, AI please do my job, then you are doomed, and you are on the path to dooms. Now that clear distinction you will have to make, and I'm sure our youngsters will be able to. People have talked about the future problems of energy. Yes, energy is a very, very serious problem. But the beauty of computer science and the allied technology has been that whenever our computer science or information technology has created a problem, it found a solution by IT itself. Right from beginning. When we said computers can work in Fortran, COBOL and all that, how will everybody learn those languages? We made the computer understand ordinary English. When we found that the computers will not be friendly unless somebody is illiterate, we found graphical interfaces with the computers. Whenever we had television, all the parents were worried, बच्चे क्या देखेंगे, ये होगा, मुसीबत हो जाएगी, ये हो जाएगा. IT developed the children lock by itself. It's an IT invention. So IT has been solving its own problems, and cloud is a great solution for the problem of data centers. And the statistic says 47% of the energy can be saved if all the data centers work on shared clouds. Now that itself can be a great saving of energy, which is a very dangerous problem. But what I am trying to say, cloud is also a phenomenon of information technology which has happened, which must be used. My dear students, in the education institutions we have a problem all over the world and more so in India. Whenever a new technology comes, we adopt it. We adopt it with good buzzwords, thunderbolts and all that. We add it to our syllabus, but we don't subtract anything. And therefore, the students are confused many a times what to read, what not to read. And it has been happening for centuries. Printing press came, you will not obviously know. There was an age when the printing was not there. Even before that, even writing was not there. That is why many of our granths are called Shrutis, because hearing was the only method to learn. Writing, science of writing was not there. Then you had to supposed to be memorizing everything. Then when the printing came, we made use of printed books, but we never stopped focus on memorizing. We continue to do that. When calculators came, we adopted it with great fanfare, but we continued to bother the students by learning tables and all that, which was unnecessary. When computers came, we had computers as showpieces to begin with, but we continue to teach
We have taught computer language as a theory course for several years in this country. I mean, can you imagine today somebody teaching you computer language and have a theory course on this? Theory, 3 hours exam on computer language. That's what we did. So any technology came, we embraced it with open arms, but we never changed our way of life that fast as it should be. Similarly now, we can keep on cursing ChatGPT. That is not a solution. You are free to curse it. But ChatGPT is there. You will have to confront it. You can't wish it away. The only challenge for you and us all is how to make use of ChatGPT for our positive creativity now. The same definition of creativity with the ChatGPT is a killing definition. You will have to redefine creativity and make sure that ChatGPT is used for creativity. An eminent speaker talked about the benchmarks. Friends, benchmarks are always relative, are always contextual, are always situational. I remember a small story. They say 2 friends were walking in a forest and a lion came behind. And the 2 saw the lion and they started running. And friend 1 asked the friend 2, he says, can we run now? The lion is behind us. Whatever we do, we can't run as fast as the lion, and let's give it up. The other says, no, I have to only run faster than you. Rest is between you and the lion. So benchmarks are situational. You have to create benchmarks for you and make sure it is done. If you keep the same benchmark for creativity and innovation, then ChatGPT will definitely befool you, and befool you faster than you ever think, faster than we ever think. There are many universities in the world, good universities in the world, which have come back to oral vivac examination, giving more importance than the written examinations. Because if you have to beat ChatGPT, talk to the students for half an hour, 10 of you, you will be able to find out the real knowledge. They have come to that examination. There are countries which are now coming back to the printed textbooks from the browsed material. So we will have to keep on going back and forth, but technologies will find the solutions, and ultimately whenever we go further in time, we always find a better solution. It's a way of life. The statistics will at times misguide us. I remember long back, there was a case study in London. At that time, the UK, the only method of transport was ghoda buggy. You know, you had a horse-driven cart. And some mathematicians worked hard. Population increases at that rate, so you will require so many carts, and horses will shit on the road, and that will be so much. And he finally worked out a good thesis that after 20 years, there will be so much heat on the road that you will not be able to enter your house. So therefore, UK is in deep trouble. Nobody will be able to enter the house. That will be the state of UK. That's a published research. But then in 20 years, ghoda buggy itself went away. Something else came. So it happened. So friends, technology by a linear forecast will always give you pictures which will not be very healthy, because technology itself will find a solution. I am very sure these data centers, even yesterday somebody was saying, now data centers and cold storage probably will have to be in the same building, supporting each other. So cold storage requires electricity which will be generated by the heat of the data center. The two will couple amongst themselves and both will solve the problem. So who knows what will happen? But all what I am trying to say is computing will continue to increase, AI will continue to expand, ChatGPT and much more advanced versions of ChatGPT will come. They will consume energy. But also remember, when they consume energy 10 times, they also save your time by much less than 1%. So therefore, energy which you are consuming for 2 days, now you are consuming intensive energy for only half an hour. So if you calculate the total thing, things may not be as bad as they look like, but the word is more characteristic your habit. You will have to learn to be very hard working, very intense working, very focused working, very sharp working. These are the attributes we are looking for in our young students to be able to be competing in the world. India has taken on the destination to become Vishwaguru. I am very sure we will, but we will do it on the shoulders of you youngsters. You will have to work focused mind, hard, creative, innovation, and also the term which I used yesterday in Nalanda University. We have to be very careful about what I call innovation velocity. You are innovative, but if you are slow innovative, somebody has done it earlier than you. Therefore, velocity of innovation is another very important parameter which you will have to keep in mind. I will have to be innovative, but innovative fast enough. I am so happy that Professor Hoda is continuing this INDIACom for 20 years, and the team of 4 young people remain. I think since the auditorium in this premises has come, we have held INDIACom here. And I think 18 out of 20 I have been here as a part of INDIACom. So friends, a lot of continuity, but at the same time, lot of futuristic vision will have to be a part of our academic curricula, part of our examination system. We have hardly made changes to the examination system. We will have to do it much faster than it's required, and I'm very sure that all this will happen. Maybe by next INDIACom, the technology itself has changed much better to be able to enable us to talk something still better, still more fruitful, and I'm a hardcore optimist. I don't say that AI will spoil us, ChatGPT will damage us. Has the calculator reduced anybody's mental power? No technology has ultimately reduced the power. It's only change of steering which happens, and that's always welcome. When you used to have manual cars, they say you will have to be alert all the time. These automated cars will make you lazy. Have there been more accidents by automation cars? No. So the point which I am trying to say is learn to be responding to the technology positively, and we are very sure we in this country we are in very safe hands with our youth and technology all over the world. Only thing is just make sure that we are a part of the technology. You should not be happy with learning to download apps designed by other countries only. We have to be designing our own apps on our terms and conditions. That is the direction for the nation which we will have to take. I once again thank Professor Hoda, all his team, and all the international speakers also have been there almost year to year. I remember all these names now, and that's a great thing. We wish many editions of INDIACom to continue to happen, and wish you all the very best for the success of INDIACom. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for an inspiring, gracious and visionary presidential address. And we now move to the movement of recognition and celebration of annual faculty awards and certification. These awards honor commitment, excellence, innovation and sustained contribution. I request all the honored dignitaries to kindly proceed in the front of the stage so that we can present the annual faculty awards and go ahead with the certification. Students, your teachers are getting awards. I expect the respect from you. Students, just have silence. I call upon the first award to Professor Ritika Vasan Professor Ritika Vasan is being honored with Exemplary Performance Award for her exceptional dedication and remarkable performance in academic responsibilities. She is also receiving Best Researcher Award for her outstanding contribution in the research and academic excellence. Ma'am also being conferred with Best Contribution in IPR Generation Award for Best Contribution in IPR Generation for the outstanding achievement of securing 2 utility patents in this academic year. Ma'am also receives the award for Best Research Paper Publication for her excellent and impactful research publications. In addition, she is being honored with Patent Grant Special Awards for the remarkable achievement of 12 patents. I next call upon Professor Sunil Pratap Singh. Professor Sunil Pratap Singh is being honored with Best Faculty Award 2025 for his outstanding academic commitment and education contribution to the MCA department. He is also receiving the award for Best Research Paper Publication for his commendable scholarly publication work. Further, he is being conferred with Patent Grant Special Achievement Award for his noteworthy contribution in the area of innovation and patents.
Please put your hands together, because next I would call upon Professor Parul Arora, who is being honored with the Best Researcher Award for her exceptional contribution to research and academic advancement. She is also receiving the Best Contribution in IPR Generation Award for her distinguished efforts in intellectual property creation. Further, she is being conferred with the award for Best Research Paper Publication for her impactful and quality research publications. In addition, she is being honored with the Patent Grant Special Achievement Award for the remarkable achievement of 12 patents. Next, I would call upon Dr. Rinku Sethi, who is being honored with the Best Faculty Award 2025 for his excellent teaching contribution and dedicated service to the BA JMC department. Dr. Rinku Sethi. Next, Dr. Soumya Bansal is being honored with the Exemplary Performance Award for her valuable contribution and commendable dedication towards academic responsibilities. She is also receiving the award for Best Research Paper Publication for her notable contribution through quality research publications. I next invite Mr. Rajendra Singh Thakur. Mr. Rajendra Singh Thakur is being honored with the Exemplary Performance Award for his sincere efforts and meaningful contribution to the BA JMC department. I next invite Dr. Rakhi. Dr. Rakhi is being honored with the Star Performer Award for her energetic, dedicated and impactful performance. She is also receiving the award for Best Research Paper Publication for her significant scholarly contribution. Further, she is being conferred with the Patent Grant Special Achievement Award for her commendable work in innovation and patents. I next invite Ms. Priyanka Singh. Ms. Priyanka Singh is being honored with the Star Performer Award for her sincere and dynamic contribution to the BA JMC department. I next invite Mr. Avinash Pawar. Mr. Avinash Pawar is being honored with the Star Performer Award for his dedicated and efficient contribution to the administration. Next, Dr. Vanchika Bhatia. Dr. Vanshika Bhatia is being honored with the Significant Contribution Award 2025 for her valuable and noteworthy contribution to the department. She is also being honored with the award for Best Research Paper Publication for her commendable contribution to quality academic publishing. Next, Mr. Raghav Trivedi. Mr. Raghav Trivedi is being honored with Significant Contribution Award 2025 for his dedicated efforts and commendable service to the institution. Next, Mr. Puspendra Sachin. Pushpendra sir is receiving the Significant Contribution Award 2025 for his valuable dedicated contribution to the BA JMC department. He is also being honored with the Patent Grant Special Achievement Award for his noteworthy contribution in patent generation and innovation. Next, Ms. Ambuj. Ms. Ambuj is receiving the Significant Contribution Award 2025 for her dedicated and meaningful service to the institution. She is also being honored with the award for Best Research Paper Publication for a valuable contribution to scholarly publication. Next, Dr. Arpita Nagpal. Dr. Arpita Nagpal is being honored with the award for Best Research Paper Publication for her commendable contribution to quality academic publishing. Next, Dr. Sheel Nidhi Tripathi. Dr. Sheel Nidhi Tripathi is being honored with the award for Best Research Paper Publication for a commendable contribution to quality academic publishing. Next, Dr. Jagrati Basera. Dr. Jagrati Basera is being honored with the award for Best Research Paper Publication for a commendable contribution to quality academic publishing. Next, Dr. Monu Singh Rajawat. Dr. Monu Singh Rajawat is being honored with the Patent Grant Special Achievement Award for his commendable achievement in the field of patents and innovation. Next, Dr. Divyashikha. Dr. Divyashikha is being honored with the Patent Grant Special Achievement Award for a meaningful contribution in the area of innovation and patents. Next, Dr. Ayushi Chopra. Dr. Ayushi Chopra is being honored with the PhD Completion Award for successfully achieving this important academic milestone. She is also being honored with the award for Best Research Paper Publication for her commendable contribution to quality academic publishing.
We shall now proceed to the memento presentation ceremony as a token of our heartfelt gratitude and respect to the distinguished guests and speakers. I now request Professor Emin Huda, Director, BVICAM, New Delhi, to give away a token of appreciation to Professor K.K. Agarwal, President, South Asian University, former Chairman, National Board of Accreditation, New Delhi. I again request Sir to give away a token of appreciation to Mr. Alok Vadhera, Vice President, Cap Gemini Engineering. I request Sir to give away a token of appreciation to Ms. Shivani Yadav, MD and Global Business Unit Head, Nagaro. I request Sir to give away a token of appreciation to Sri Shiv Kumar, former scientist, National Informatics Center, Government of India. I request Sir to give away a token of appreciation to Professor Sneha Kabra, Professor, University of Delhi and Secretary, IEEE Delhi Section. We are highly grateful. Thank you so much. You can have your seats. Thank you so much. To formally conclude the inaugural function, I now invite Dr. Ritika Vasan, Deputy Director, BVICAM, New Delhi, to propose the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Professor Parul. It is a profound privilege to extend a heartfelt vote of thanks on this historic occasion. As it is rightly quoted, no duty is more urgent than that of returning thanks, because gratitude makes sense of our past, brings peace for today, and creates a vision for tomorrow. We extend our deepest gratitude to our Honorable Professor K.K. Agarwal, President, South Asian University, former Chairman, National Board of Accreditation, and founder, Vice Chancellor, GGS IP University, New Delhi, for gracing this occasion today. Our special thanks to our chief guest, Mr. Alok Vadera, sir, Vice President, Engineering, Cape Gemini Engineering, for sharing his visionary perspective. Ms. Shivani Yadav, MD and Global Business Unit Head, Nagaro. Mr. Shiv Kumar, sir, former scientist, National Informatics Center, Government of India. Professor Sneha Kabra, ma'am, University of Delhi, and Secretary, IEEE Delhi Section. The following honor guests, many of whom could not come for the inaugural function in person, but they have joined the inaugural function online. Our sincere appreciation goes to Professor Subrata Mukhopadhyay, Chairman, Consultants Network Affinity Group and former Chairperson, IEEE Delhi Section. Professor A.K. Nayak, sir, former President, Computer Society of India. Professor Muhammad Yamin, the Australian National University, Canberra, Australia. Professor Tom Gideon, Optus Chair, Artificial Intelligence, Curtin University, Australia. Professor Abdullah M. Basel, King Abdul Aziz University, Saudi Arabia. Professor Girja Chetty, Department of Information Technology and Systems, University of Canberra, Australia. Dr. Faisal Othman Al-Buradi, Qasim University, Saudi Arabia. Professor George Halkias, Department of Mathematics, Computer Science, University of Athens, Greece. Dr. Yasser Adis, Greenwich University, London, UK. Professor Ata Atun Girne, American University, TRNC, Istanbul, Turkey. Dr. Awad Al-Harbi, Buraida College of Technology, Saudi Arabia. Professor George Halkias, University of Athens, Greece. Professor Ata Atun, Istanbul Ayadin University, Istanbul, Turkey. Professor Omar Tian, Prince Mukrin University. Dr. Jar Samaris, University of Wollongong, Dubai. Professor A.K. Saini, sir, Conference Chair, INDIACom 2025 and Director, IQAC GGS IP University and President, IET, New Delhi. Professor R.K. Vyas, former President, Computer Society of India. Our most valued invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, BVICAM is extremely honored to serve as a host for all authors, delegates, scholars, researchers, teachers, and students during this INDIACom 2026, the 12th international proceeding for the 20th Annual Conference on Computing for Sustainable Global Development. I especially thank Professor M.N. Huda, sir, for his unwavering commitment, leadership, constant support, and guidance that has constantly mentored, inspired all of us, students, teaching, and non-teaching staff to work towards betterment. His guidance has been instrumental in bringing together this prestigious event at this scale. I also extend my heartfelt gratitude to Dr. Professor Sunil Pratap Singh, convener INDIACom 2026, for his meticulous planning and execution. Dr. Vanchika Bhatia, Head Media Team, for ensuring seamless coordination and effective outreach for this conference. I'll fail in my duty if I do not put on record my deep appreciation to all the authors to our national development and discussants for their valuable contribution to attain this visionary objective. I, on behalf of entire BVICAM family, extend a very hearty vote of thanks to all the speakers who shall be gracing their important work and sharing with us their findings and opinions in this 3-day gala. It is this treasure which will keep the memories of this conference alive. I also thank Shri C.B. Sawant Sir, Regional Director, Bharati Vidyapeeth Educational Complex, New Delhi, for having offered all resources and required support at all difficult and critical times in the process of organizing a conference of this magnitude. We also take this opportunity for thanking various organizations that have collaborated with us in collaborating for this conference. An event of this dimension cannot have an open night. Preparations for this conference started weeks before, and it required planning and an eye for detail. We are fortunate to have a team of dedicated and motivated colleagues who know their job well and are result-oriented. I thank our program committee members to have spared their precious time for reviewing the research process. I express my sincere thanks and gratitude to members of Organizing Committee, Advisory Committee, Coordination Committee, Web Administration Committee, Content Development Committee for their support throughout the duration of the event. Though I thank them in the end, but my colleagues, teaching, non-teaching and the student body has been the back of INDIACom 2026, be it organizing, participating or preparing for the event. I applaud all of you for your commendable efforts. I may have missed out on many names. I sincerely apologize for the same and let them know that you are highly valuable to all of us. So a big thank you to all of you to making this event possible. Thank you.